he was offended when he saw somebody's hair long or blonde or whatever, goes into his dormitory room, has fellow students hold the kid down while Mitt cuts his hair. The kid was traumatized, crying, and so on. And now he's asked, people don't focus on it, he's asked, well, what do you think? Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember what I did.
Let me laugh.
The other kids that were involved, they remember. And that's almost worse. It's almost worse to be so uncaring about other people's feelings, to think that they don't matter, to treat people in such a bullying way.
Hi, this is Evil with Honest Brutality, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
Yeah, that's Big Sloppy.
And Camera Rebel.
We're going to do something just a little bit different than what we normally do all the way around.
Yeah.
And we have a very special guest on the phone, and she is here to help us understand a little bit more about the endeavor that we've taken on with Bands Against Bullying. Now, if you're not already aware, Bands Against Bullying is an event that has been organized by multiple people. A lot of passion, a lot of heart has gone into this.
Yeah.
It is a concert, a festival that is happening or has happened at the point when you hear this, June 10th, 2017 in Neosho, Missouri, a West 60 cycle. The reason that this all came together was because a young lady, unfortunately, took her own life due to bullying, and family members reached out to us and asked us if there was a way that we could help. And when it all is said and done, this is what we came up with, and it has so far been an amazing journey. Mm-hmm. So, Camera Rebel, would you please introduce our guest?
Yes. On the line, we have Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good, good, good. So Jennifer is Erica Smith's mom. So
Right.
we are going to have an amazing conversation with you and just rejoice in the life that she lived. And we want to know all about this beautiful young lady because she is absolutely gorgeous. And I just want to know so much more about her. So can you tell us how she how was she growing up?
Well, she's ornery. One of her favorite pastimes was probably beating up her big brother.
Awesome.
But to anybody else, she was the most caring little girl you would ever meet.
Yeah.
In our school district, they do character kids every month for a different personality character trait. Mm-hmm. And she was always voted most caring.
Oh.
She had a very big heart.
Yeah.
With a very big attitude to go along with it, though. She loved dance.
So what kind of dance?
She loved singing. I'm not sure what they call it. It's not hip hop. It's
Was it like crunk?
You would ask me that. No, it's they go to competitions.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like inspirational type, or I don't know what you would call it.
Oh, wonderful. So was it through the school?
No, it was through the Anderson Dance Academy.
Yeah. Did you guys travel? Did you guys travel for like competitions and stuff, or?
She did some.
Yeah.
She'd only been in it for a little over a year. Mm-hmm. So she hadn't advanced far enough to go to the really big competitions yet.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And you said that she sings?
Yes, not necessarily real well, but I loved it anyway.
Right. That's pretty amazing.
She liked skateboarding. She liked playing video games.
Yeah.
She had good grades in school. She always was on target with everything she was doing.
Yeah.
So
she had a lot of friends.
So
she was well liked.
By and large, a pretty normal little girl.
An average American teen or preteen, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess it's just really confusing when you tell us that. It's hard for us to imagine that she would be no longer with us, that she would be, in such depths of despair that, So I don't understand. I mean, what transpired? Not to get dark, but what transpired? What happened? Do you know much about the events leading up to?
Not completely. I know some small details. There's a couple things you have to understand first.
Okay.
I am a recovering drug addict from meth. I have been clean 6 years.
Congratulations.
And her father is in prison for shooting and killing his brother-in-law.
Wow.
But her father made a mistake. I want everyone to understand he is a great man, and he was a great father.
Mm-hmm.
He did something stupid, and he will pay for it for the rest of his life.
Right.
But when it came to Erica, no matter what, he was there for her. He was great with Erica's brother and sister that aren't even his. They're the only man that they've considered their father. Erica was a cutter. She would cut herself. I had her in counseling. She would see the counselor once a week. And in fact, the Friday before this happened, she had a session with her counselor. And a lot of kids, when you hear of them cutting, a lot of them just kind of barely scratch the skin, just barely draw blood, and it's mainly for attention. That was not Erica. Erica cut herself very deeply on her legs, which is worse than the arms, because the arms is more for attention. The legs is something that can be covered up, so it's that she doesn't want you to see it, so it's not for attention.
Right.
And they left some pretty nasty scars. She had about 100 scars per leg on the inside from thigh down to ankle.
Wow.
And she had stopped for about a year, maybe not quite a year, maybe between 8 months and a year. And then all of a sudden she had started back up again. I was very busy. I was at school and I was at work. I would go to school from 8. My first class would start at 8 in the morning, and I wouldn't get done until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I would go straight into work and work until 11:30. I spent as much time as I could with the kids, but I wasn't there like your typical 9 to 5 work job hours.
Right.
Come home, be with your kids every evening.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the depression. She struggled with just life in general. She'd been through a lot for a 12-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
I really thought everything was going good. I know she made a bad decision with a young man over Christmas break that had started some trouble on social media and bullying. And then also when she came back to school from Christmas break was her first semester of having to dress out for PE class. And that's when all the girls seen the scars on her legs.
Yeah.
And I know she came home several times crying about that as well.
Yeah.
Erica did not leave us a note. I had no idea. They say that there's signs, and there are, I'm sure. And all I was trying to do was better my family.
Right.
We came from a place of me being so lost in my addiction that I was not a good parent. And they were never abused or neglected. The quality time was not there.
Right. Well, and I think there's a lot of Americans out there. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that are in that position.
Yeah.
Well, I was clean at this time. Granted, I have been clean 6 years now. I lost where I was.
Well, that's fine. So let's just go ahead and bring it up to date, though. You just recently graduated, right?
Yes.
And what was your
a week ago yesterday?
And what was your field of study?
A bachelor's degree in social work.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A little ironic, but amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the purpose. I wanted to go into substance abuse counseling.
Perfect.
And maybe I could help somebody who's been where I have.
That's amazing.
Or is where I've been.
Absolutely amazing. That's a true testament of I've lived through this and I want to help people. Because you know what? I too am a recovered drug addict. And it's not an easy road. It's not easy to clean yourself up. Addiction is like, there's nothing like it in the world. It just takes you and it destroys you. And if you can help, one person, 2 people.
Then that affects 100 others just through their family and people that they interact with.
Absolutely.
It will improve the lives of over half the community.
Absolutely.
Well, when I'm referring to a community like ours, I live in Goodman. We have a post office and a convenience store.
Well,
Not much different from where I'm at.
Right.
if I can kind of bring it full circle, the reason that we're even talking today was through our affiliation with musicians and music and bands, and there were family members that are in bands or married to band members, and I guess the way that I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the situation, as unfortunate as it is, it didn't necessarily stop. I don't want to name names or get into details on that side, but it didn't necessarily stop after Erica left. There was still things that were going on.
It was almost the 1 year anniversary of her death.
Right.
Before, well, I'm assuming what you're talking about were the posts on Facebook or Instagram, wherever they started at. They ended up on Facebook because that's the only one I have.
Right.
That was almost a year. A young man and a friend of his created what they call a meme that had a picture of a noose and Erica's picture, and it had a comment on it that said, I want to say it was, "You want to hang around?" Which I filed charges against the boys.
That just like chokes me up.
Well, it's an extremely poor taste. It's the ultimate lowest of low for trolling or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It is horrible and uncalled
Let me interject
for.
here a little bit. Teenagers are, by all means, not bright a lot of times, and they do things that are silly and stupid. And I think a lot of times they don't really understand the depth of hurt that they can cause people, and that happens.
Right.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
This
Go
boy
ahead.
was also 17, so he was a little bit older.
Oh my God! That just I was thinking 12, 13. That's over the top.
Yeah.
But I want to say this through this tragedy, and it is a tragedy. But through this tragedy, we have a real opportunity here.
Yeah, we do.
And you've come forth and you're telling this story, and it's important that you tell this story. But we have an opportunity here to prevent this from ever happening
Absolutely.
again. If it's only one person's life, your story can transcend your area, and we can get this out there. People need to hear this. People need to know they're not alone. This stuff happens all the time.
Right.
And we have a chance here to take this tragedy and make something beautiful out of it. We have a chance to save some lives here. We have a chance to change some lives here.
Right.
And I want to tell you personally, I truly appreciate you stepping up, coming out and talking like this. It can't be easy.
It's not easy,
I know you've told this story probably several times now.
It's
And
not
it's
easy
never
for any
easy.
of us.
Yeah.
This isn't even what we do. This
Right.
is not what we do.
This is outside of our bounds a little bit. But I'm a parent of 4. Evil's got 4. Camarillo's got 3. You know, so we all have kids. We know, and they struggle, and we see these struggles ourselves. And to see you stand up and come forth like this is so important. It's so huge. It's brave
Yeah.
to do so, and to put this out there, because we have all these. You know, we're planning this event. It's going to be a festival, and there's going to be a lot of great stuff there. And we're trying to do some things that are kind of fun and whatever to encourage people to come out. But in the end, the idea here is to bring this awareness forward.
Right.
And what you're doing right now is one of the most powerful damn things anybody could ever do. And we appreciate you for stepping up and allowing us to step in with you and bring this to light. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. The way I see it is, what other choice do I have? We live in a very small area. The children that live here in Goodman, where we live, go to the Neosho School District because Goodman is so small. With Erica being the first, there have been 5 suicides
Wow.
in a year and a half.
That's insane.
Suicide contagion is when they start to consider suicide as a more real option because they've seen it happen or seen the reaction to it happening. One of the children was 17. The rest were either 12 or 13.
It's just so heartbreaking.
These are babies that are killing themselves. Not okay.
And that's not okay. And that's why we hope and pray that this ripple of hope spreads through that community even bigger and stronger, and that it wakes people up that aren't necessarily awake, that aren't necessarily paying attention. And we can do some good in not just your community, but communities everywhere, because this has become a bigger thing. Yeah. But we're going to start right there, and we're going to give Erica a voice. We're going to give the downtrodden a voice. We're going to give the misunderstood a place to stand and to speak their mind, and hopefully get the help they need so that they can come on this show and tell their story.
Absolutely.
That would make me happy.
Listen, Honest Brutality is coming to your town, and we're storming the damn gate.
I'll be there. Absolutely, I will be there.
I am excited. If it's okay, I'd love to give you a great big hug when I see you.
Absolutely.
All right. I give they're bear hugs, just so you
know. He gives awesome hugs. I hug him every time he walks in the door. I'm like, give me a hug.
And you change his name to Big Huggy.
So,
Big Huggy.
Can you give us some insight in the area now? Because we've been promoting this show for some time, and you're there in the community. We're not there, obviously. We're in California. But
right.
Let me stop right there for a second. On that note, what we're doing here, what you guys have started, is taking flight. We had people from Maryland want to do something similar. Yeah. We're going to be doing something here in California very similar. We've had all over the country, and actually the world. I've had people from England reach out to me wanting to do something similar. Yeah.
And Norway even.
Yes. I'm getting chills. You guys, come on now.
that people have heard of my daughter.
Yes.
Her story is reaching people, and maybe her life will make a difference.
Absolutely. And that's the goal here, is to really make it stand out. But what are you seeing in your area directly? Because we're not there, obviously. We're not in your community. Are people coming to you, say, hey, I heard about this, or what's going on? We're really out of touch in your actual area.
There's not much going on. The first several months, of course, I couldn't go out anywhere without somebody approaching me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay, because I want people to know that it defines who I am anymore. I'm a very broken individual, and for people to understand how broken, they need to know about her.
Right.
I know I was trying to establish some kind of mental health classes or teaching some coping skills within the school districts. Not that I blame the schools, but they are in a position to where they can reach the majority of the children in the area.
Right.
And in my experience, when bullying has been approached from the school districts, that it has only made it worse, because now they're tattling. And that's something else too.
Yeah.
But also, when I was a child, they didn't have social media. It was one person, and you could deal with it.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
And now everybody knows before you even become face to face with the individual who started it.
Yeah, right.
And there's no way to fight back.
Yeah, you got.
It's very, very overwhelming.
Everybody's tough behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, as far as the event goes, have you heard anybody? Is there talk about our event out there now? Are we starting to see some footing on
Absolutely, because if they're not talking about it, I'm telling them about it. And let them tell me no. It's a lot more difficult to tell the mother of the child no than it is to tell somebody who's just doing their job.
Right. Good.
That's amazing.
I would like to ask you, if you had the opportunity to tell anyone who might be listening that's in a similar position or think that they might be, if you had some words of wisdom for them, what would they be?
To reach out to anybody that is struggling, whether they're your friend or not, you don't know them. If you see that they are having a hard time coping with day-to-day life and with other members of the society's attitudes towards you, or towards them, I guess, talk to them. Ask them what's going on. Just reach out to anybody that might need a helping hand or a shoulder to fucking cry on. Sorry, excuse my language.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
An ear to listen. Be there. Because sometimes that may be all it takes, is to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And be kind. You don't know what people go through every day. There's no need to be hateful to each other. I believe that my generation of individuals raising children. And excuse my language again, but we're raising assholes because we're so distracted with our cell phones, we're so distracted with work and school like I am, that we don't pay attention to what's going on right in front of us.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Valid.
Well,
I believe so.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, can I tell you something? I really appreciate you. And I know it sounds to me like you're beating yourself up on this a little bit, like you feel like you came up short, but let me tell you something. In my opinion, and I'm just a dad, and when it comes down to it, in my opinion,
I know
when you're out there trying to better your family, and that's what you've been doing. You're going to school. You're working your ass off. You're trying to keep your kids fed. Things are going to slip you sometimes, and not everything's your fault, okay? You sound like a strong person to me. You've been through it, and you're growing, and sadly, we had to meet this way. I wish we could meet under different circumstances. But to me, you sound like a hell of an individual, and I'd like to see you just know that you're something. You're special, okay?
Well, thank you. I know my one job was, as her mother, was to protect her.
We all feel that way.
And I wasn't able to do that.
I think you're taking a little bit of this more than you really need to. Here I am on the West Coast telling you this, but I want to tell you something. If you're trying to do the best for your family, that's what you can do.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
All you can do.
Okay? And now we have a chance through this tragedy, like I said, to be an inspiration.
Exactly.
Okay? And you're inspiring this little conversation we're having right now. You're inspiring people.
Yeah.
Yep. You want to talk about inspiration. I want you to know that your little girl is no longer with us, but her presence is bigger than ever because she has become part of our life. And we do a show. We're hardcore jokesters. We do nothing but hard rock and heavy metal. We talk crazy shit. And here we are sitting around a table all teary-eyed and crying because we want her story told.
Right.
And we don't want anyone else to go down this road. And so thank you so much.
That's all I want, is to protect any child that I can in any way that I can.
Well, you're doing your part.
Yeah.
You're going above and beyond, by the way, just so you know.
Absolutely nothing will make Erica being gone worth it or okay.
Right.
Well,
but if it can save somebody else.
There you go.
Right.
I love your attitude. Hon.
Maybe she had a bigger plan than the rest of us.
Well, she's definitely an angel, that's for sure.
You know, can I tell you, I want to share something with you real quick, if that's okay. I was talking to my wife this morning, and we were discussing, I said, we're going to have a conversation today with her mom. She said, I saw that video. She was so beautiful. She said, your daughter was just absolutely beautiful. So.
She was.
Yeah, and she still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally adorable. So, well, Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on. We are really excited about, like Sloppy said, I mean, this is a movement. This is a worldwide movement. And from us here at Honest Brutality, this is something that we want to do on an annual basis because we are those compassionate people, and we definitely want to go forward with this, and help as much as we can. And I am so honored to say that the first annual Bans Against Bullying is in Erica's name.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I thank you guys so much for helping get her story out there and to help protect other kids. And I would love to be involved in some of the other annual events that you guys do.
Oh,
absolutely.
You're going to be.
We're going to need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully all this school will pay off soon, and I'll be able to afford to come see you guys wherever it is you're going to do the next one.
Oh, don't threaten us with a good time.
I might need some counseling.
Might.
We'll see if I'm qualified at that point.
And I think that it's absolutely amazing, the career path that you chose, because, you have people who choose those career paths and have not been through life's tragedy, and they just roll with it. And I think there's a certain lack of true knowledge and true compassion because they haven't been through it. So you have, and that's absolutely amazing.
I do understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody who's been there and done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can understand.
So we're gonna let you go. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being so brave. I couldn't imagine being in your shoes. It breaks my heart.
I hope you never do.
Same. So, with that being said, I'm going to give you a big ass hug when I see you, just so you know.
Just say, I already claimed it. Me first.
We're going to be fighting over you. We're going to be like...
I'm just going to sneak in and get mine.
That's
well, on a
awesome.
good note, I'm also getting ready to be a grandmother.
What?
My oldest daughter is giving me a grandson, and she will be there too as well.
All right.
She's due August 29th.
All right.
That's
Oh, really? Okay. I'm going to lay hands on the baby. I'm going to bless the baby for you. How's that? You get the big sloppy
He's
blessing.
gonna be precious.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen that are listening, thank you for tuning in. I know it's a little bit of a departure from what we normally do, but it was absolutely necessary and needed.
Yeah.
And Bands Against Bullying is not necessarily a one-time event. We are working on establishing a year-round fundraising opportunity for different communities in need.
Right.
So stay tuned for details. You can get all of that. I will keep the website up and running at www.bandsagainstbullying.rocks.
Right.
I will also have information on honestbrutality.com. And keep listening to the show because we will keep you updated as we update our details.
Thank you, guys.
Go ahead, push me around if it makes you feel better, if it makes you feel proud. Go ahead, just laugh at me with all of your friends. Can't let well enough be. I know I'm not like you. I'm reminded by what you do. Why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta be so heartless? Don't you know your words, they sting? Why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta go and start this? You pick on me like it don't mean a thing, and you'll never admit when you're wrong, but you'll never forget when I'm gone. All alone, I keep it to myself. I'll never tell anyone. Don't wanna burden someone else. All alone, you'll never see me cry. I lock the pain away. Sometimes I just wanna die. I know I'm not like you. I'm reminded by what you do. Why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta be so heartless? Don't you know your words, they sting? Why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta go and start this? You pick on me like it don't mean a thing, and you'll never admit when you're wrong, but you'll never forget when I'm gone. When nothing else matters, when no hearts are shattered, and I'm not picking pieces off the floor, where I don't have to be me, where you've won completely, and I don't have to feel this anymore. Oh, why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta be so heartless? Don't you know your words, they sting? Why you gotta so mean? Why you gotta go and start this? You pick on me like it don't mean a thing, and you'll never admit when you're wrong, but you'll never forget when I'm gone. I know I'm not like you. I'm reminded by what you